And there we go. Welcome to day 8 of Shuffler Poker and WPT's King of the Stacks 2019 here at Emperor's Palace, of course, brought to you by all the above mentioned and World Sports Betting. It's good to have you back with us, Fabian. How's it going?
Yeah, I can't believe it's main event time already. Hey?
It is so exciting. The vibe inside the Theatre Marcellus is massive. There's such an electricity that's happening at the moment.
It's fantastic. I mean, the room is packed. I think we're already overflowing into the Gladiators room just to accommodate all the players. It's amazing.
And we can tell you all about it up here in studio, but in fact, we're going to actually cross to our colleague Christine, who's down on the floor, and he'll give you a bit more of an idea of what's happening at the moment.
As you can see right behind me, the room is absolutely rammed. 263 players are currently entered into the main event, and we've had to push the overflow into the Gladiator Poker Room. There's going to be 7 levels of play tonight, and then rebuys, or should I say re-entries, are available till level 10 tomorrow. Some of the notable players in the field: Justin Ace, Noel Jefter, Eric Brand, Jared Solomons, Joe Boyrami, Bozo's also in there. I mean, the energy in this place is absolutely electric, and we're going to be in for one crazy night of poker. Back to you guys.
Right, so we are back. Thanks, Chris. And yeah, listen, there's so much happening on the main floor at the moment with the main event. As Chris may have mentioned now, over 250 players registered already. Late registration running up until tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which is including you, by the way.
I am one of the over 250 players playing today. Yes.
That's exciting. How are you feeling?
I'm really excited actually. I haven't played a main event in a while, so
Okay,
this is yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm pumped. I've done all my prepping, my pre-gaming for this. I got my strategy in my pocket.
Yeah, I love how a lot of the guys have been preparing with all kinds of different strategies. And what's up for grabs is besides the crazy amounts of money up for grabs are these 2 trophies. This could be one of yours.
This is mine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got my name at the back already.
You got to put it out into the universe. Look, we'll chat more about the main event that has kicked off, all thanks to Shuffler Poker and WPT for 2019. Before we get there, we got to remind you that next year in March 2020, the next WPT and Shuffler Poker event is up for grabs. And you may have heard the news and seen the news everywhere that it is a guaranteed 5 million rand main event. 3 people are walking away instant millionaires. But look, I can blab on about it. We can blab on about it. But there's one person who knows all about that. And we've actually got him in studio this evening. The man behind all of this, Gary Lentin, is joining us next. Right, so there we go. Thanks. It looks so super exciting, Gary. It's good to have you here in studio with us.
Alex, it's what an absolute pleasure. You've done a sterling job.
Oh, thanks, man. Really
and
appreciate
I thank
it.
you from everybody that watches the stream, not only me.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. So there's so much to discuss. Where do we start? Let's talk about this year's event so far.
Yeah.
Super exciting with the main event happening downstairs behind us. The guys have come out to play.
They have.
And super exciting. Over 250 guys registered already. How many people are you expecting?
I think we'll get over 300 uniques,
great.
and I think we'll get a prize pool of about 5 million. I'm expecting about 420, 425. I'm hoping for that.
Okay, amazing.
And I think we'll get there.
And it's good to see that so many guys have come out for the other events, including the Super High Roller and the High Roller, which is just finished, which we'll discuss in a little bit as well. It's good to see the guys are coming out for all these other events as well during the week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you put together a schedule, you try to plan it, that you can get as many people and cater for as many people's needs as you can, and wishes, not only needs. And yeah, I think we've done a good job. You know what I mean? There's always room for improvement, but I'm pretty proud of the job that all my staff have done. I mean, I just come here and act like a big deal.
Yeah.
The hard work's done behind the scenes by the people that go in there every single day. Kayla, Sentia, and the stage that doesn't stop, Jackie, Irina, that doesn't stop.
Demi's there as well,
Kirsty,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys that helped, you know what I mean? The dealers, the whole of Empress Palace. Like I said, I get the glory, Oh, look, I get a bit of the heartache,
Sure.
but they do the hard work.
No, and shout out to you. I mean, I think coming back from all the way back from 2012 to see how it's grown up until where we are now, from my side at least, and taking part in the charity events and seeing how it's grown into what it is now, and especially coming into March 2020, which we're going to be discussing in a moment. It's good to see the guys are growing the sport within South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, people leave the country, people turn up the game. It's not a game that just everybody can keep playing forever. Yet our numbers remain pretty consistent on
Yeah.
a slight up curve, and that's because we do attract new players, and that's one of our biggest challenges. Because people do lose their money, and people lose interest, and they get other things that they want to do in their life. So our challenge is to bring new people in and bring more people in that leave. And through a lot of hard work and everything, my staff have done it. Not only my staff, the staff of Empress Palace, and also you can't not. I mean, they're as big a part of it as anybody, and that's
Sure.
WPT, and that brand and what they do as well behind the scene also adds to it.
Let's talk a bit about how you, I want to say, entice people to come in and start playing poker, and especially ladies. I mean, you had the ladies and gentlemen event, which was ladies 18 plus and guys 36. That was quite an interesting one doing this year, and it was good to see the ladies coming out. How are you guys, approaching new players and saying, come and join us?
Okay, well, the ladies is easy.
Yeah.
We tell them that you're going to be here.
This guy. He says the most charming person in the room. Yeah.
Thank you. But no, well, we do the marketing. We try to convince people that are playing at home
Yeah.
that it's not a frightening experience, that you come here, there's good staff that will look after you. They're not only sharks down here. There are a lot of fish, there are a lot of recreational players. So it's just getting the message across. And satellites, Alex, that's the big thing. So I've always said satellites is the life and soul of poker.
And you guys have had quite a few satellites that have been going up on the Shuffle Up Poker website. There was, I think, the last satellite today to get into the main
Yeah.
event. So it's been running up until the main event day. And like you said, it's super important for people to realize you could become a millionaire for free.
Of course, we have free rolls, and it has happened before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's Kirsty's department. She's done a sterling job as well this time. She really has, She works late hours, 5-6 nights a week for 5 weeks running into the tournament, And it's something we're going to spend special attention on in the March event.
Sure.
Because it's 15,000 Rand, it's a little bit more, and we're not looking for 300 people. We're looking for 400 plus uniques. We're looking for every single person out there that can afford a satellite. Even if it's a 200 Rand rebar, come along, chance your arm. I mean, this is what a casino's about.
Yeah.
It's about chancing your
Yeah,
arm,
of
right?
course, yeah.
And if everything falls your way, you don't even have to win the next event, right? Alex? I heard you mention you can come third
Yeah,
and walk
absolutely.
away a millionaire.
And that's a super exciting part. And for this year's event, it's good to see some guys. I mean, when I played the charity events, it was good to see some guys who haven't played in like 6 months, close to a year, are coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, we were having a look at, I think we were talking about Yaku Storm, who was now in the high roller event, who hasn't played for quite a while.
Yeah.
And he's back here, and he gets to final table.
Yeah.
It's good to see these guys are coming back.
Exactly. And you said, how do we entice people? I mean, I remember it was maybe 2 weeks ago, Kayla and I just finished a meeting at the Houghton Hotel, and the call came, and it was Yaku Storm. And he said he's thinking about coming. And Kayla and I, straight away, we just stepped straight into action. Yaku, what do you need? Yes, we'll get you special prices on the room,
Great.
which we like to do. Champagne for your wife. I hope we've given it to him. Spa for your wife. And we try and make it as enticing as possible. And he sees the value. And when I walked in there today, while there were 3 or 4 of them left, he said, Gary, thank you very much for bringing me back to poker. And that's what makes it all worthwhile for me. That's the truth.
And I must add, as an amateur player, and I really am, in comparison to some of the guys that are here, you don't treat me or anybody else differently from everybody else. We're all the same. We want to come having a good time, obviously.
Exactly. That's what it's about. It's about having fun. That's
Yeah.
a lesson of life, right? If you're not having fun what you're doing, then you're doing something wrong.
Sure.
And the truth is, I must stop saying the truth is, because then people think the other things isn't. But the facts are, I spend a lot of time trying to say to my staff, treat everybody the same. Just because somebody can put 75,000 today into a super high roller doesn't mean he's a better person than somebody that had to come play a free roll.
Absolutely.
And that's a lesson I learned from Bob Uram, who's my gaming hero, to
Yeah.
be perfectly honest with you. Bob, when he arrives at work, treats the guy that opens the boom, not that there's anything wrong with opening the boom, exactly the same as it treats somebody that can buy him for 2 million rand. in
And
a
Bob is an
casino.
incredible guy. I mean,
best.
teaming up with him from Empress Palace, what does that mean for you? And Empress Palace being such a good supporter of like an event like this.
Well, they deserve all. They deserve all the accolades, and they deserve the rewards that they get. And the
Sure.
rewards that they get are 300 people walking into the casino, eating hamburgers, drinking, whatever it is, and hunting, right? And also the recognition they get. We align them, and I'm proud to say that I was involved with it. We align them with WPT.
Great.
And, it's just, that was a marriage made in heaven. It was easy for me to do that. And from there, the relationships have really strengthened. The fact of the matter is that Bob takes 13 to 14 people down to the Tiger Jam every single May. And I don't think there's a single organization in the world that gets a bigger allocation than Bob does.
Look, I must say, Emperor's Palace doing great things at the moment. I bumped into Julie from marketing last night while I was having dinner, and I said to her, I cannot remember seeing Emperor's Palace this busy over the past week or so, and especially tonight. I mean, I struggle to get parking, so it's incredible to see, and it's these kind of events that help bring people out. And also poker in South Africa, if we must be honest, it isn't as big as what it is, as exposed as it is maybe in the United States, and these kind of events are bringing that exposure.
Definitely. And you know, people sometimes say to me, why do I bring out superstars from overseas to win tournaments and take money out of here? You can only improve your game by playing against people that are better than you.
Sure.
And it's much easier for me to bring 3 or 4 superstars to South Africa than 300 people to America. And that's how we expose them, by bringing 3 or 4 people here. And yeah, it grows. I mean, the fact of the matter is, this stream, this live broadcast, will be on the WPT channel eventually.
Sure.
And that means that thousands of people, poker enthusiasts around the world, will see it. Not only Emperor's Palace, they see South Africa.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, let's not say that we won the World Cup. We can't compare it to that. But if we can bring 10 new tourists to South Africa that wouldn't have come before,
It's all bigger
we've done
picture.
something. Exactly. It's
It's
a
all
puzzle, and you need every single piece for the puzzle.
Now, let's talk about March 2020, where
Yeah.
you're doing events like this. I can see the smile on your face comes up immediately. This is massive. I mean, the announcement has gone out. We did an interview with you 2 nights ago, but to have you live here, the energy that comes with this. March 2020, it's a huge event. I'll let you do the explaining.
Well, right. So what we've decided to do is, a lot of poker tournaments are very heavy towards the top.
Yeah.
The guy that won the Super High Roller got him just over $1 million. The guy that won the High Roller got $1 million. And the guy that wins this, and I keep saying guy, I want to touch on the ladies just now, because there were 2 ladies in the top 4 down
I
there.
saw it was Mariette
and Noel.
Noel, yeah.
Came 3rd and 4th. Yeah. So often one person walks away with $1 million and the next person only gets 600. So I thought, how can I rectify that? And there were 2 ways. Have a tournament big enough that you can pay more than one person $1 million, or guarantee more than one person $1 million. And I thought we could do both.
Sure.
Let's guarantee R5 million, guarantee 3 prizes of $1 million each.
Massive.
And then everybody's going to come streaming in. And I can assure you, the first prize will be closer to $1.5 million than $1 million.
Yeah,
We're not going to get $5 million.
because of all the people that are going to come through. I mean, and actually how it works, the more people come through, the bigger the pot becomes. So that's super exciting. Where was the decider for you? Was it during this event, or was it something that you've been working towards?
It was when I got on the plane to go back home to Cape Town after the last event.
Okay.
And I was just playing around on my laptop, my iPad. And yeah, it came to me, and that was it. And it happens quickly. I make a lot of mistakes in my life, and that's probably because I don't think things through. And I send a message to Kayla and say, right, we're guaranteeing $5 million, we're guaranteeing 3 seats.
Kayla falls off her chair, and she's
Falls
like,
off her chair.
is
And then-
Gary drinking? What's going on?
And then the message comes back to me, and I think, oh, did I really go and get myself involved in this?
Yeah.
And then I have the faith to believe that if we just keep delivering, the people come. And the message I sent out to my ladies today was, however much we're spending marketing over the next 4 months, 5 months, when people go and march, can never be as important as what we do for the next 72 hours. That's our crowd. That's our audience.
Yeah.
And we need to treat every one of them like gold to make sure they come back and bring their friends.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about.
Well, it's a simple philosophy of making your current clientele super happy that word of mouth. I mean, you can have marketing, but you have one bad apple that spreads a bad word, and it's a lot more damaging versus having these guys, like you said. And I see you stand up basically for every single person that walks up and says hello to you, and it's something that I take pride in as well, seeing how you stand up and greet somebody. And just that simple thing, I've realized with Shuffle Up Poker, you guys do extremely well. So I have no doubt in my mind that March 2020 is going to be a massive success.
Sure.
And just the fact that you guaranteed R5 million is going to be huge. Other events happening in March?
Yeah, Super High Roller, and a few smaller events as well. Lots of satellites, Alex. Lots and lots of satellites. Satellites with trophies, free rolls, everything. So we're really going to focus on 3 major events: Super High Roller, main event, and the rest will be satellites and everything. A few other small events, but that's where the focus is going to be. And I mean, I would love nothing better than for somebody like you say to come here for a 2 or 100 rand or a free roll and walk away with $1 million.
It's so possible.
So of course it is.
We were chatting to Bozo the other night. I'll quickly tell a story, which I don't know if you caught the interview with him, and he was saying, it's sometimes more difficult for a pro to play against an amateur because you don't know how they sometimes play, and that more than likely that luck could carry you all the way to becoming a millionaire.
Oh, sure, Chris Moneymaker. And I mean, we just have to look at the High Roller.
Yeah.
There's a complete clown, a guy that's hardly ever played poker, Jared, and he goes and he flukes it, right? I mean, no, I'm joking. We all know that, right? Jared's obviously one of the top 2 or 3 poker players that we've ever produced in South Africa.
Yeah.
I once went to a lunch with and the person at the lunch was Michael Clark. The lunch was about A.B. de Villiers, and Michael Clark was speaking. And Michael Clark said, you prove greatness by doing great things over a lengthy period.
Sure.
And Jared's done that. Jared's been a top player from the first time I ever saw him at Sun City 14 years ago. You knew he was going to be a superstar. And he is a superstar. And if you asked me to have a bet, I would say Jared will be the first South African to get to main event WSOP final table. And I mean that sincerely.
Well, he has gone and win the high roller event this evening and cashing R1 million. We'll talk a little bit about that as we discuss their hands as well. Let's quickly wrap it up and talk about also another event that's coming up first week of January in Starkopmund in Namibia. I unfortunately haven't been to it yet, but I've had everybody ranting and raving how incredible it is there. And you guys have also put out a very special deal for the first 5 entries.
Yeah, I think the first 5 entries, Kayla knows better than me, the first 5 entries, free accommodation, right?
Yeah.
And that we'd like to do. And I'll be, you know what I mean, the fact of the matter is, if people bring a group, and I'll consider a group 4 or more players. We'll do exactly the same for them as well. We want to take the South Africans there. It's great. I'm not saying it's an easy competition or an easy tournament. No tournament's easy. But the players there look up to the South Africans, and we're spreading the word there. And that helps, because by doing that, we'll get 10 Namibians here next time. And I mean, when I look down at the poker room, there are probably 40 to 50 people that come from the continent, right? And that's
incredible.
Brilliant.
And we sometimes forget that as much as we look up to America, as an example with the players that they have there, like you say, Namibia, maybe Zimbabwe, maybe Botswana, players there are looking up to South African players like Jared Solomon or like Bozo, and they're looking up to these guys going, that's my idol, and we need to remember that.
Of course, that's absolutely the truth, and they do. You know, these guys and I can see it. They go and they watch Jared at the heads up, and they watch Eugene, and they watch these guys who are real. They're great. Don't let anybody fool you that they're not world-class standard. They are. And these guys come and they watch them and they learn and they go back home and they spread it there. And, you know, that's how poker will not only survive, but flourish here in South Africa.
Listen, mate, you're doing an incredible job. It's been an honor to also be part of seeing how Shuffler Poker and the tournament's been growing over the years. I mean, from coming here when Lacey Jones was here, we got stories about that. Well,
are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's why you can still bring that story up. I won't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact that the amount of alcohol you've consumed in that poker area, right? I'll say it's more than the next 10 people combined, right?
And it's his fault. I'm just going to put it out there. Listen, Gary, congratulations. Incredible event for 2019, 2020, March 2020. It's going to be huge. Go to Shuffler Poker. We've also, by the way, we've got all those entries that have come in for you to guess who's going to be the main event winner for 2019. And that lucky person will be winning a seat to the value of 15,000 Rand for March 2020 next year. Gary, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be great. Somebody's going to be walking away with this over the next couple of days. And by the way, there is still a turbo event happening on Sunday, so make sure you come and join us for that.
And the late reg, we got late reg tomorrow till 2 o'clock.
Of course, yes.
That's the most important
There's late
thing.
registration. Yes, come through for late registration. Come and join us. You can still play the main event. If this didn't convince you, there's over R1 million up for grabs. I mean, what are you waiting for? Seriously, this is March 2020. Check out this video. Gary Lentin, what a rock star.
Yeah, definitely.
It's grown so much over the years. And if my mom's watching, he was only kidding about all the alcohol that comes to the tables here. It's grape juice, it's apple cider.
Yeah.
Dude, let's quickly talk about that event in Starkopmund that is coming up the first weekend of January. You were the one that said to me it's absolutely incredible.
So, haven't actually played the event, But
I mean, beautiful.
Swakopmund is just an amazing, amazing place. I mean, there's beach, there's desert, there's sandboarding, there's quad biking, it's a great place. If you want to bring your family with to a poker event, because there is more than enough to keep them entertained while you're at the tables.
Well, so there will be a main event, a high roller, and a turbo event taking place that weekend. For all the details, go to the shufflerpoker.com website and you will see it there. And of course, also come and join us, as Gary said, in the March 2020 event. That's going to be huge. I mean, the top three all being millionaires. If you aren't already, you become an instant millionaire.
I'm gonna start building a bankroll now.
You have to.
Yeah. After I win this, I'm gonna come.
After you win this,
After I win this, then
listen, it's going to be great. Go and enter, or I say go and enter. You can go register and enter to come and join us in March 2020 or in Swakopmund. It's going to be great. It's all brought to you by Shuffler Poker. It's going to be awesome. Right. Yeah. Let's talk about the high roller. Well done to Jared Solomon straight off the bat.
Yes. And I did pick him as my horse.
You did?
I did.
You did. Well done. Winning R1 million. It's super incredible to see him win. And as Gary said, somebody that's been playing for a number of years, over a decade, and coming through and winning these events. And shout out also to Yaku Storm, who came through and played as well this evening. I think it's really cool to have him come out and make final table and get to the top 2.
And getting to the top 2 is it's an incredible feat. Only 2 people get there out the field.
Yeah. I mean, I was obviously in the charity event when the high roller kicked off, and the energy in the room was super electric. There were some massive players that were coming through, and to get to that final table was incredible. We are going to, in fact, discuss some of the hands that came through. We'll go through from the bottom line all the way through until I think the last 4 hands we'll go through. But let's go through to when player 9 was knocked out. You can see on the screen there, that was the final table that came through. Shout out to everybody that made it. This was when our last player, or our first player from the final table got knocked out. So that's Mariette there in the middle, as you can see. We'll try to go through it. Let's see if we got that on screen there as well.
We do not.
We don't. All right, but as they go along, the cards will come up onto the screen.
Yeah.
We can just fast forward there a little bit. All right, so there we go. The board hitting 10. What is that? 10. We'd have to try cut through there. We'll just ask our producers to put it up on the screen as the flop comes through.
Let's see if we can find it ourselves here.
All right. I'm actually just going to quickly stand up here, just come a little bit closer. All right, so the board comes, the flop comes 10, 8, 9. All right, so that coming through, Mariette's obviously involved in this hand over here. And
there we go. 8 of hearts, 9 of hearts, 10 of clubs on
coming
that
through.
flop.
All right, and you got it over there. We'll go through it as we go along.
So Antonio Alfaya, my favorite guy.
One of your favorite players.
My favorite guy.
We've been discussing him as we go along. All right.
So, he checks Marriott. This is also the wrong hand.
All right. So I think it was Marriott.
Oh yes, there were 3 players to the flop. This is why. Marriott bets. Antonio folds. Marriott shows Ace 10, and Darren shows his Ace Jack. The turn comes because I assume Darren was all in pre-flop and got 2 callers. And that's obviously what happened here. Marriott hit a 10 on the flop, hit another 10 on the turn, and that was the end of Darren. And
unfortunately, that saw him leaving quite swiftly, but Marriott's doing quite well for the ladies. I think coming through with her now onto that final table, it's good to see the ladies coming through and representing.
Yeah, it's always nice to see because, I mean, unfortunately, it is a very male-dominated game. Like, it just always has been. But the ladies are coming through. Our defending main event champion is Maria Ho, another great international player. So they are starting to be represented, and I'm pretty sure it will keep picking up. Yeah.
Marriott's actually going on to come 4th in this year's high roller event. Let's move on to another hand. I just want to check if you got it there with you, Fabian, as well.
I do.
This hand over here, we'll see now. We'll get our producers to put up on the screen the players involved. I think this was a hand with Michael Klacher, was it?
This is Antonio Alfaya again.
Oh yeah,
going out in 8th.
Coming out in 8th. All right, let's go through it. So I'll let you read through it.
Yeah. So Jared Solomon opens in cutoff to 250. Blinds are 50, 50,000, 100,000. So standard 2.5 pre-flop.
Yep.
Antonio goes all in from the small blind. Jared calls. Jared has Ace Jack.
And there they are standing up on the screens. As you can see, the players cards coming onto
yeah.
the screen. And
Jared
that
has
comes the
ace
flop.
jack, Antonio king queen. The flop is queen jack 4, all spades. Jared has the ace of spades. So on the flop, he's losing at this point.
Right, let's
'cause-
just pause there for a second. Yep.
yeah, so on the flop, Jared's not in great shape. Well, I mean, he has his flush draw, he has an ace as an out, and he has all the spades in the deck as an out. But Antonio has caught up from being behind pre-flop to flopping top pair.
Yeah.
So he is leading at the moment. The turn brings a king,
Yep.
which gives Antonio 2 pair,
You can see it there on the screen.
but also gives Jared a few more outs with a 10 now, because the 10 gives him a straight. So he has
course.
straight draw, flush draw, 2 pair draw, trip draw. He's got many outs.
And these are the hands that we kind of like we dream of when it comes to
Yeah.
poker and watching this. You want to be watching it more than you want to be involved in it.
Exactly. Like,
Because you're stressing right now.
if you're behind, like Jared technically is,
Yeah.
you want to be behind in this way because you have all the cards in the deck basically to hit, and he does. He rivers a 9 of spades, and that's my friend Alfaya gone.
And you can hit play there. You can actually, unfortunately, see him leave the table. The guys discussing there a little bit. You can see a bit of confusion at first. And then,
Yeah.
you can see the end of on fire. Thanks, Fabian. And congratulations to him coming in at 8th place. Then the next hand that we'll get to was obviously the 7th player. We caught this one a little bit late, but as you can see, this is the position that we're in as we
Yes,
go.
this is when my friend Michael Klacher exits.
Yep.
In 7th place. So well done to Michael. Knew you could do it. So blinds at this point are 6,000, 60,000, 120,000. Michael Klacher goes all in from hijack for 1.4 million. Vicky Moodley in the small blind calls. Michael has ace 7, so he's playing around 11 big blinds. So basically, any ace in position is put it
You gotta
in.
go, yeah,
You
absolutely.
just put it in, pray, and see what happens. Vicky opens pocket 9s, very strong holding out the small blind. King 10-8, no help at all for
No.
Klacher. Another 8, even less. Well, it gives him some outs, actually, because he can make an ace, a 10, or a king
Right.
for a 2 pair. But the river's another 10, and
Vicky getting the 2 pairs, or 2 pair with
yeah,
10s and 9s.
yeah.
And
So
Michael
actually,
leading.
sorry, that was my mistake. He only had an ace as an out.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
And Michael, of course, cashing out there at 136,000 Rand in 7th place. So well done to Michael Klacher there.
Well done,
Of
Klacher.
course, we didn't catch the rest of it. We will go through the hands with you. Ben Caige out in 6th place. Blind 60,000, 120,000. The ante up to 120 as well on level 25. Let's talk about Noel Jafta opening up to 250,000 in the cutoff position.
So yeah, she opens up to 250. Ben goes all in for 1.9 million.
Massive.
That's a big bet, but again, it's not that many blinds.
Sure.
So it's a lot more than 250, but it is again only around 15 blinds or so.
Yeah.
So Ben shows ace jack off, and Noel shows king jack suited. So Noel is well and proper dominated, as we call it in the game, because if she makes a jack, it doesn't help her at all because the ace would outkick her. But she doesn't make the jack. She makes the king on the flop. Unfortunately for Ben.
As poker would have it.
Yeah. Sometimes the worst hand wins, and that was the end of it. King 9-2, turn 6, river 4, no help, and
Caige.
end of Ben Caige.
Knocking himself out there. Well, I said knocking himself out, but come in 6th place and earning himself 160,000 Rand in the High Roller 2019. Let's move on to 5th place. We'll just go down a little bit there on the screen if we can. We'll ask our producers to move on down for us. And just remember, of course, if you want all these blogs, you can go up onto the Super High Roller, or I say the Super High Roller, the Shuffle Up Poker website, shuffleuppoker.com. You can go onto there, and all these hands will be up on there, which you can get, of course, all the details. And check out what happened. We'll go through them as we go along. Have you
Yeah,
them
I've
there?
got the
Great.
5th place exit hand here.
Yes, let's go for it.
So blinds are still 60,000, 120,000 with the 120,000 big blind ante. Obviously the whole time, which really does make the pots quite juicy and really worth trying to play
Interesting
for.
choice of words. Quite juicy. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Cool. Vicky Moodley shoves from the button for 1.3 million, again around 10, 11 big blinds. So you can expect the range to be quite wide there, especially from the button. He has king 9 offsuit. Yakostorm calls with ace queen offsuit. The board runs ace 7 5 ace jack. Everything very standard. Unlucky, Vicky. That's what happens when you get short stacked. You have to make moves.
And Vicky
hope for the
Moodley
best.
coming in and cashing 200,000 Rand in 5th place. Let's move up on to 4th place, which is now up on our screen. If you want to go check it out, like you said, you can go to shufflerpoker.com and go to the updates. Mariette doing incredible well. As you did mention, she came in at 4th.
Yeah.
Going all in from the bottom with an ace-10 of diamonds. Yaku Storm calling. I'd love to know if it was a snap call, but
It was a snap call with pocket jacks,
pocket jacks.
especially when she shoves the button. It was a snap call.
Yeah, the board comes out 6-5 king 4-9, and Yaku's jacks hold up.
Absolutely standard.
Pretty standard,
Nothing
pretty
you can
quick.
do about it. S10 has to go in. Jacks has to call.
Nothing wrong with Mariette walking away with
And
270,000.
No, I'm quite sure she's quite happy about
Yeah,
that.
$250,000 Rand. Well done to the ladies representing. Out into 3rd place, and this is where, of course, we just joined you a little bit earlier, and well done to,
Yeah.
brilliant. I love to see the ladies coming through.
Yeah.
She came 3rd in High Roller Super Stack, earning herself 390,000 Rand with this hand.
Yeah. So Yaku opens to 400k.
Yep.
Blinds at this point are 75, 150,000, obviously. And Noelle shoves all in with Queen Jack of Hearts. I'm not sure exactly how much she shoved all in for, but I assume she was probably quite short at this point, shoving with Queen Jack of Hearts. And Yaku has Ace King, has to call. Ace King. Sometimes it works and
Sometimes it doesn't.
and sometimes it just hurts your entire soul. The flop comes down 5, 7, 10 with the 10 of hearts.
Yep.
So no one improves. Yaku's still ahead. Turn comes Ace of Hearts.
Yaku immediately takes the lead. Yeah.
Yaku improves, is not more ahead, but Noelle also improves. She picks up a gut shot flush, a gut shot straight draw, and a flush draw. So 12 outs. Unfortunately,
Not hitting
River
it.
was a jack of spades, and that doesn't help her. So,
Yep.
but well done, Noelle.
Gave Noelle the pair of jacks, but of course, still, like I said, didn't allow to win the
Yeah.
pot against Yaku with those pair of aces, and coming in a 3rd place with 390,000 Rand. And then I think we have got the hand that basically wraps it all up for us for the high roller stake.
So this is a hand that I'd like to talk about quickly. Just before, this is not the hand that wrapped it up, but this is a heads-up hand, and it's probably the sickest cooler I've seen in a while.
Talk to us about.
So this is what happens here. So Jared limps in from the small blind. Heads up,
Your favorite- your
limping
favorite-
in from the
your-
small
your
blind is
favorite-
fine.
Your
Let me just say.
Fabian's favorite technique. If the word limping comes up, just run.
So heads up, there's a lot more limping.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's okay, especially with a player that knows exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it and what the reason for doing it is. And Jared is definitely that player. So if Jared's limping, maybe I should change my tactic.
Sure.
Actually, is
No,
what
no.
I'm trying to say. So Jared calls blinds at this point are 100,000, 200,000. Jared calls out the small blind, the extra 100,000, and the flop is 5, 6, 7, 6, 7 of hearts, 5 of clubs.
Right.
So this is a very draw-heavy board. So obviously there's quite a few straights out there. There's flush draws out there. There's a lot going on here. Yaku bets 400,000. Jared raises to 900,000.
Now this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so he limps in,
Yes.
takes it easy, and then raises to 900,000.
Yeah.
Massive contrast here.
Exactly. So now here's the thing: when you're limping in, you could basically have anything.
Yeah.
So you could be limping. You could have 5-7. You could have 6-7. You could have pocket fives.
7-2.
7-2, my favorite hand. And Yaku can also have anything.
Yeah.
He can have 100% of the combinations available to a poker player because all he had to do was check. He didn't have to call a raise. He didn't have to think about
Absolutely.
it. The cards he had are the cards he's playing. So on a board like this, when this type of action starts happening, it's really difficult to know what your opponent has
Yeah.
from either of these guys. So now here it gets a little bit more interesting because Yaku makes it 2.5 million.
So it's literally gone
Raise, re-raise,
re-raise again.
re-raise.
I mean, this is massive from
Yeah.
and all the way up to 2.5 million. And then I'd love to know. I mean, I wasn't here for this, but I'd love to know if Jared snap called here, all in.
So
He shoved all in immediately.
I think Jared's style is a bit more deliberate. So even when he does have big hands and stuff like that, he will just take a step back and decide, and then move it in. He might have snapped it all
Yeah.
in. We don't know. But so Jared goes all in. Yaku calls. Now Yaku, when we see the hands, we know snap called because Jared turns over 3-4 of hearts. So he flopped the straight
Thanks for coming.
with a flush draw. So it's massive. Heads up. You dream of things like this, heads up. But Yaku flopped a bigger straight with 8-9, the absolute nuts, best hand possible on the board. And this is This is what we call a cooler, because these two hands heads up are not supposed to meet each other.
No.
The bottom straight's always supposed to win, and the top straight's not like the top straight doesn't exist when the bottom straight is there. It's not supposed to happen. It's insane. Now Jared still has a few outs with his heart draw.
Of course.
The turn brings ace of diamonds, not much, and then there's the river. Look at the river, 9 of hearts.
A 9 of hearts coming through the heart that Jared was begging, praying, and everything that you can imagine came through for him.
Yeah. So this hand is just it's sick all around. Yaku flops the nuts, which means best hand
Yeah, of
possible.
course.
Cannot be beaten on that flop. Jared has the second nuts, which is the second best hand possible.
It's incredible.
Basically.
And like Fabian says,
The
these
third
are-
nuts,
these-
actually.
These are the hands that you strive to see.
Yeah.
And you hope you're in the best position for it when it comes. And
Yeah.
if you're not in the best position, you're just watching and observing.
Yeah. But then Jared finds it, and
Jared
boom.
wins with the flush. So
9 on the
massive
river.
hand. This
Yeah.
is a crazy heads-up hand that happened a little bit earlier this evening.
Yeah.
And then I think the next hand that we all discuss is, of course, there's another one. Yaku winning with trips on the sevens.
Yeah. So this is obviously after Yaku's lost this gigantic pot
Yeah.
to Jared. Yaku raises to 500,000. Jared puts them all in. Yaku calls. I assume Yaku didn't have much left behind. And then we have a classic flip. Ace 10 versus pocket 7s. Yaku makes a 9-7-3 on the flop. Yaku makes a set. Turn 4, river 5, nothing for Jared. And we unfortunately don't have the exit hand, I don't think. But we do know that Jared Solomon, at some point after this, won.
Yep. So, well, there we go. There's the hand that crowned
it
the king
is.
of the stacks. Jared opens under the button to 500,000. Yaku goes all in for 6 million, I think that is. If my numbers, my zeros are correct there. Jared has 18 million and calls.
Yaku shows king 8s of spades, which is so heads up. All the hands get stronger. So king high is much stronger heads up than it is 9-handed.
Okay. There's a tip for you if you're just starting out.
Yeah, a suited king 8s, it's reasonable. It's definitely reasonable. The shove. Jared's ace jack call is stock standard. You're basically always calling the pitcher aces heads up, especially if you have your opponent outstacked 3-1.
Yep.
The board is 8 jack 7 on the flop, so Jared goes into more of a lead than he was pre-flop. Turn 3, river 7. Thanks for coming, Yaku.
Jared wins the hand in the
Jared
tournament
wins the hand.
with the nut flush. What an incredible heads-up match between the two guys. It's good to see that Yaku coming back and taking part in another tournament.
I have not seen Yaku in years.
You dealt for him at some stage.
I started off in life as a poker dealer.
Okay.
And
Actually, not a drug dealer.
yes, a
Just
poker dealer. I
dealer.
dealt cards to people sitting at a poker table. And
And there
yeah,
you can see him on screen. Jared Solomon winning that trophy. By the way, sorry, I interrupted you.
yeah, I used to deal to him at tournaments back in the day, and haven't seen him for years. It's great to see him back on the scene. He's a very, and I find him intimidating for some
Okay.
reason. I don't know why at the table.
I was watching the guys, having a bit of a discussion as I got to this evening, and I was starting to prep. And he does have an aura about him.
Yeah, it's just
doesn't
like
he? So. But
Yeah.
congratulations to the guys. There's Jared on the screen at the moment, as you can see. Congratulations to him winning $1 million. And look, I think it's great. It'll be interesting to see. What do you think he'll go in and join the main event now?
He'll definitely go for dinner now,
Yeah.
as we are on dinner break. Not sure if he'll jump straight in. It is very taxing. He's just played 3 days of poker, and to go from the final table mindset back into 250 player mindset is not always the easiest. But Jared does have his ways of getting back into the right mindset. He might come in a bit later, maybe take a bit of a break, walk around a bit,
just
enjoy
reset.
his win, reset. Or he might just come in tomorrow, because we are allowed to register tomorrow still as well.
Up until about 1 o'clock tomorrow,
Yeah.
you can register for that main event. Let's quickly talk about it. Besides yourself, backing yourself for the main event win, who else are you looking at?
Just me.
Just you.
no. Obviously, Jared's always a favorite. Ahmed's always a favorite. Moaz, Gio, Bozo that we've
Bozo,
spoken
yeah.
to. I mean, there's so many guys down there. Sorry if I haven't mentioned you, but there are so many that can take it. And obviously, someone just random could. Some free roll winner could just come in and just bink the whole thing.
And that's the beauty of it. That's what Gary was saying a little bit earlier. If you've taken part in one of the satellites, one of the free rolls, and you've come through, you could be a millionaire. And that being said, you can still register until 1 o'clock. You got to go have some dinner, and are you going to start playing tomorrow, or are you already in?
I'm going to jump in tonight.
All right, you're going to jump in
that's my
tonight.
plan.
All right, good luck, Fabian.
Thank you
From
very
myself,
much.
Alex Caige, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Like I said, you can go up to shuffleuppoker.com. There's so much content there that you need to go through. You need to go through if you want to learn a little bit what happened in the high roller games that happened a bit earlier this evening. Also, if you want to register for March 2020, where you could be an instant millionaire, 3 places, the top 3 places will be instant millionaires. And Gary, not making it a written law there, but kind of saying, with the amount of people that normally enter, that first place could go up even closer to 1.5 million.
Yeah, no, it's
Which
going
is
to be
massive.
great. I can't
That's
wait for
also
it.
being said, you can also go register for the Swartkop Munt event happening the first weekend of January. But either way, we will see you back here tomorrow evening at 8:30. Fabian, good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. And when the guys are back from dinner, all the details and all the updates and all the special hands that you can find will be up on the shuffleuppoker.com website. Go check it out there on the blog, and let the guys, wish all the guys good luck for these trophies.
My trophies.
Yeah, that's from us. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks.